So I actually woke up at right under 192, but I'm not angry about it because weight fluctuates. I always talk about it. It depends on what was eaten the day before or even a few days before, the amount of carbs you had in those 24 to 48 hours and all of that. But it's actually a good sign, if anything, because that's the lowest weight that I've seen in like 2.5 weeks probably. So that is not a bad sign. I wouldn't say it's a good sign, but it's definitely not a bad sign, okay? So I'm going to get right into this chest day. I was on a time limit, so I kind of had to move fast, and I actually didn't do any barbell pressing or Smith machine pressing or dumbbell pressing. I just went to an incline press machine. I did warm up a little bit. I did some push downs. So I actually warmed up into this machine too. This is an incline press machine. So I slowly warmed up into it. I did about 3 warm-up sets. For the first 2, I did it with a plate. And then I actually did 4 warm-up sets. Then the third one, I did it with a plate and a 25. And then for the last warm-up set, I just did a few reps with 2 plates for like 3 or 4 reps just to get weight exposure. So with this machine, basically there's 3 spots where you could load the weight. In the middle is the most balanced. That's like a normal bench press, basically a normal chest press. That's like a balanced weight. Then if you lower the weight all the way to the bottom where you can put it, that is the most tension when you're at your starting position, or then when you're coming down from a rep, that's the most force when you're about to go back up, the starting position. And if you load the weight at the top, all the way at the top, the heaviest point is when you're at your full range of motion. So there's different ways you can load your muscle with this machine, and I did it every way possible. For the first 3 sets, I did balanced weight right in the middle. I actually started the heaviest I ever went on this machine, 2 plates and a 25. And I actually had to do a drop set. I only got like 5 reps, I think, 5 good reps. I got a few partials too, but then I just dropped it to 2 plates and finished there. I did that for the first 2 sets. And actually, let me pause right there. So I did 2 sets on the balanced weight. I'll call it the normal range of motion, okay? So first 2 sets, 2 drop sets, heavy, and I drop set it to 2 plates. And then what I decided to do was load the weight all the way at the top. That was where I decided to go next. And like I said, the heaviest point is when you're at your full range of motion. So even the eccentric is very important because you want to go down slow to really feel the weight. And to get that full stretch, I raised the seat all the way up, almost all the way up, so my arms can go basically like to my chest, where I could bring the bar to my chest. And then for the second set, I did the same thing. I did 2 plates. And guys, if you have machines like this, I recommend you use the weight exposure at all different points because it could hit your muscle in completely different ways. Like I was focusing on the eccentric, like I said, when I put the weight all the way at the top. And then after those 2 sets, or 3 sets I should say, I lowered the weight all the way to the bottom. And then when you go up and you come back down, it gets heavy once you're at this point, the lowest point basically. So I did 2 plates there. I think I might have went a little bit heavier, but I did 10 reps, I remember for sure. 10 reps for the first set and then 9 for the second set. And at this point, I was 6 or 7 sets of pressing in. Absolutely, my chest was pumped already. I would say I had a lot of carbs in me. I think I had like close to 400 grams of carbs in me, and I want to say my chest was like 85% pumped. And then right after that, what I decided to go to was pause reps. Pause reps, baby. I always talk about them. So I started with 45 and a 25. That's actually not that light for being 7 sets of pressing in already. That was actually a pretty good weight for me, and I only did 3 or 4 reps, and then I did a drop set to a plate because I had no spotter. I didn't want to risk having to like maneuver it off of me. So, and I didn't feel like asking for a spotter. So I just finished it off with really good form with a plate for the drop set. And then for the second set, I only did a 45 plate, and I got like 12 reps, and I only stayed there for 2 sets. My chest was all pressing out at this point. It was all pressed out. No more pressing was going to be beneficial, I thought, at that point. So that would be, I think, 8 or 9 sets of pressing in. I want to say 9, but 8 or 9 I'll say. And then what I decided to finish was chest flies. I really like this machine, one, because you're on an incline, and if I raise the seat all the way up, I'm really able to get a full stretch and then bring the two handles close together, as close as possible. I try to keep my arms as straight as possible because that's how I feel my chest the most in this chest fly variation, or call it like a pec deck. I don't know what I don't know what to call this really, but I really do like it. And I actually did this for 4 sets, superset style, with my shoulder flies, lateral raises. That's what I've been doing to finish always. And I actually started with the chest fly with a 25 and 2 10s on each side. So basically like a plate. And then I would do a drop set for the first set. And then for the second set of this, I did a 25 and a 10. And then after that, I just finished it off with 25s on each side. Finished with some shoulder flies. And I ended up doing 4 sets of these fly variations, of these chest fly variations, I should say, and I finish off shoulders with 5 sets. So I ended up doing 5 sets of shoulders. And I don't know if you guys saw my new split, but I actually have shoulders on arm day too, so I hit shoulders more frequently. I try to do at least 6 sets on chest day, 5 or 6 sets, and then on arm day I'll do like 6 to 8 sets. So I am hitting my shoulders a little bit more often. And guys, I do not do shoulder presses really, because when I bench press and when I do any kind of chest press, it hits my front delts a lot, you know. And like, I try to take it out as much as possible, but I feel like it is inevitable because people are still going to hit their front delts. So I just focus on my rear delts and my side delts. And like I said, my front delts get hit in pressing. So I don't do shoulder presses. I focus on flies, nice squeezing. Sometimes I'll go heavy in the flies. So guys, for chest, I say if I had to rank the best chest workouts, I'm saying for me, from what I have seen growth and progress and strength gain, all of that good stuff, I want to give it a scale. I will say first, incline pressing, either incline press machine, like the one you guys saw me do today, or incline barbell or incline Smith machine. Those are the top 3 incline movements that have helped me grow my chest. And I would say right below that, like, okay, say if it was a scale 1 through 10 again, okay? Incline being the best, obviously 10, because I'm saying for me, what's the best chest workout? Guys, and then believe it or not, second, I would say chest flies on a cable, decline flies specifically. Those are from when you go up to down. You guys have seen me do them in my videos. I would rank that at 8. From a scale 1 through 10, 8. Say if I didn't feel like doing chest pressing at all for one of my chest days, I can have a nice chest day with just squeezing movements, and I would start with decline flies all the time, and even mid chest flies, just chest flies in general, but I would say decline flies specifically, because it kind of just hits like my whole chest. It's called the decline fly because I'm going from up to down essentially, but decline flies have absolutely been beautiful for me. And then number 3, right under cable flies, right under, probably like a 7.8 or 8 as well, pause reps, okay? Bench pressing, pause reps. Flat bench specifically, because that hits the whole chest as well. And sometimes I do pause reps on incline, but normally I don't. I just prioritize pause repping on flat bench because that could hit my chest in a different way, and it gets a good stretch going all the way down, and holding it in that resting position, it just takes a lot of force to go back up. So that's why people can't go as heavy with pause reps if you're actually doing high volume. And yeah, guys, but those are the 3 workouts for chest that have really made my chest blow up, and I highly recommend give it a try because, like I always say, that is what works for me. That is what has worked for me. And guys, even so far in this bulk now, I'm about like almost 2 months in, I still see striations, I still see veins, I still see abs a little bit, so it is a beautiful sign. I also do notice slight body fat, but it's the nature of the game. That's what I always say, because it's true. There's no avoiding it, because if we're eating in a surplus, that's literally what it means. You're eating in a surplus, so you're eating more than your body should have to maintain its weight. That's why it's called a surplus. But my main goal is just not to put on an excessive amount of body fat, so then the cut will not take long, and then I could go right back to the bulk. So yeah, guys, beautiful chest day, chest and shoulders, and I will catch you in the next video.